Hello, BookTube. Who's up for another book haul? I think this is number 16 for 2017. I think I've lost track a couple of times because as it horrified some of you to learn, I accidentally have opened a couple of mail shipments off camera. We're doing a lot better than we did last year, and I'm working on it. But I've got a stack of things here I thought we'd open. It doesn't end with a box, but one of the packages is Silver LeMay. So I thought, if in lieu of a box, that will do just fine. So we'll end with that one, and we'll start with this little thing here. The only one that came Federal Express. So I wasn't here for any of these this morning because I was slaving away at work. I was at the Christian Science monitor for 90 minutes. Oh, it's just endless. Oh, very good. Fantastic. This is opening Wednesday at a theater or drive-in near you. The shadow cinema of the American 1970s by a former coworker of mine who really, really knows movies. And I don't, but I know a recipient who does. So, all right, good. So that's a 5-star. Let's move on to this one here. What is this? A very damp and chilly day here in Boston, which is very bad on little old ladies. Their joints ache like crazy, and it also it emphasizes the split between them. My little basset hound, who is, I don't know if you can see, she's always right next to me. That's why you don't see her in the videos, because she's always pressed right next to me. She is covered in seal blubber, so she's immune to the cold. Doesn't feel it at all. But my good dog over here, can you see me a little more? There we go. She is skinny and very vulnerable to the cold, much more so than she's ever been in her life, and she's never been a big fan of it. So when it's chilly and wet outside, I've got a Laurel and Hardy routine going on right there on the sidewalk, where one dog is perfectly happy to stand around and stare, and the other dog can't wait to get back inside. And I can't solve the problem in the easiest way possible because they refuse to be walked separately. They have to see each other. So, that's a little needless digression. So what do we got here? Okay. All right. This comes out in early February. This is Truffle Boy. My Unexpected Journey Through the Exotic Food Underground by Ian Perkayashta with a co-writer. And that is Truffle Boy on the cover. And there is his even cuter author photo. Okay. So is he some sort of truffle king? like Abe from the Sausage King of Chicago? He is New York City's leading truffle importer. So he is a truffle king. Okay. And boasts a devoted clientele of top chefs nationwide. But before he was purveying the world's most expensive fungus to the country's most esteemed chef, Ian was just a food-obsessed teenager in rural Arkansas, a misfit with a peculiar fascination for rare and exotic ingredients. Okay. Well, I'll talk about outside Steve's comfort zone. I think that goes to the top of the list. But who knows what else is in this? There's bound to be an obscure World War II history in here, or an obscure World War I history. Let's see what we have here. What's next? Oh. This is by Sarah Shoemaker. It's Mr. Rochester. And there he is himself. This is... it's just what you'd hope. It's a retelling of Jane Eyre. Through the eyes of the dashing and mysterious Mr. Rochester himself. Capable of cruelty and tenderness in equal measure, professing his love and denying it in the same breath, Edward Fairfax Rochester is literature's most complex and mercurial romantic hero. He has baffled and beguiled fans of Jane Eyre for generations. Here, at last, is his own extraordinary journey. We first meet Edward as a vulnerable, motherless little boy who, on his 8th birthday, is exiled from Thornfield Hall and all he ever loved. As Edward learns to navigate his complicated relationships with his father and older brother, he makes his journey across England and a delightfully eccentric Victorian education to the slave plantations of Jamaica, where he abandons himself to a whirlwind love affair with the ravishing Bertha Antoinette Mason and suffers a heartbreaking betrayal. Eventually, young Mr. Rochester must return to England with his increasingly unstable wife to take over as master of Thornfield, and it is there on a twilight ride that he meets the plain young governess who will steal his heart. Mr. Rochester. Now, we've seen this many times before, right? Not necessarily a novel from Mr. Rochester's point of view, but a novel in which someone tries to bring to life the other main character in a canonical text. I have never known it to work. I've read it 100 times, people trying to do it with Mr. Darcy, and I've never once seen it work. I read, looked forward to, and then read with eager anticipation, Rhett Butler's People, which did the same thing, or tried to do the same thing for Rhett Butler. I don't know, is it the spell that the original book cast that just brooks no rival, or is it that these authors are relying too much on the work of someone else instead of doing the work themselves? I don't know, but I'm always willing to give it another try. Always willing. So we'll move on to this thing. What is this? Oh, it's 2 books. Oh, very nice. There's stuff in here. When I get a big, heavy package like this, really solid and heavy, I admit, my first Steve impulse is to hope that it's one enormous hardcover. Perhaps if an overlooked Hohenzollern. But I'll take 2. So what have we got here? Oh, all right. Number 11 by Jonathan Coe, by the very talented Jonathan Coe. He did the Wishaw Legacy that didn't get as much attention as I wished it had. This is a sequel to the Wishaw Legacy. His 1995 novel that revealed to American readers the singularly gifted young British writer whom the New York Times immediately hailed for his energy and storytelling talents. In number 11, Coe has filled his intricate plot with a truly Dickensian cast of characters, starting in the early years of this century with Allison and Rachel, 10-year-old friends who have a frightening encounter with the Mad Bird Woman, a mysterious figure who lives down the road. As the narrative progresses, from the aftermath of the Iraq War to the present day, its scope broadens to include others who are variously connected to these 2 girls. So this is a sequel, okay. All right. And then the other book in here is Jane Austen biography, Jane Austen, The Secret Radical, by Helena Kelly. I haven't read a Jane Austen biography in a couple of years, I don't think. Okay, so let's read a review from the bookseller, who won't return my emails. I would love to write reviews for them, but they don't respond to me. I guess there's no room at the end. This is Carolyn Sanderson wrote this for the bookseller, where the book was a book of the month. A bodice-burstingly brilliant book. Say that 10 times fast. Essential. What this radical rereading of the novels does so brilliantly is to exhort us all to chuck out the chintz and the teacups and all the traditional romantic notions about Austen's work that have been fed to us for so long. However well you think you know the novels, you'll be raring to read them again once you've read this. Fantastic. All right, well, I don't know if that's true, but that's the kind of blurb that, I don't know about you, but that makes me want to dive right into the book. Okay, good, great, we're doing fine so far. This is just fine. No idea what the afternoon's mail haul will be, but we'll see. Let's see, what is this? Oh, all right. Okay, I requested this. This is Unreliable by Lee Irby. Rather nice cover. What have we got here? Edwin Stiff, a failed novelist and college writing instructor. Well, those two go together, don't they? In upstate New York, is traveling home to Richmond, Virginia after a long absence to celebrate his mother's second wedding. Edwin has a peculiar relationship with Richmond, home of Edgar Allan Poe. Birthplace of Edgar Allan Poe? Right here in Boston. And with the truth. He is a liar who is brutally honest. He may or may not be sleeping with Lola, a beguilingly beautiful student back in upstate New York. He may or may not be getting fired. He may or may not have killed his ex-wife, as well as his brand new stepsister. Edwin's tortured homecoming leads him into a morass of long gestating secrets, old flames, and new passions ready to consume him. But we don't know if any of it's true. Okay, so this is going to be... it sounds like this is going to be a long game with unreliable narration. I gotta confess, as I don't think will come as a surprise to any of you, I often find games of narration a little tiresome, and often they strike me as the author protesting too much. They often strike me as the author substituting them for the work of entertaining, and I've seldom known them to work on me. I usually just get bored, but we'll see. I like the sound of the premise, so. All right, let's move on here. What have we got next? Thin thing. Little thing. Oh, it's happened again. I Dared the Duke. By Anna Bennett. It's bright pink. Let's find out what it's about, shall we? Alexander Savage, the Duke of Blackshire. It couldn't be Moabshire. It's got to be Blackshire. And it's got to be Alexander Savage. It can't be Alexander Testy. It's not Alexander Tetchy. He's known throughout the Tone for three things: the burn scars on his neck, his ornery disposition, and the trail of broken hearts behind him, none of which would concern Miss Elizabeth Lacey in the least, if she wasn't already living under his roof. As his grandmother's companion, Beth is all too concerned with the moody and compelling Duke. Incensed by his plans to banish the sweet Dowager Duchess to the country, Beth refuses to do his bidding. If Alex wants her help, he's going to have to take her dare and grant her 3 wishes. Alex adores his grandmother. Why does he want to rusticate her then? Well, I guess we'll have to read and find out, won't we? Which is precisely why she must leave. A string of unfortunate incidents has him worried for the safety of everyone around him, including the Dowager's loyal and lovely companion, Beth. But the notorious Wallflower isn't as meek as she appears. And as their battle of wills heats up, so does Alex's desire. He's dangerously close to falling in love with her and revealing secrets he'd rather keep hidden. How can he convince her that his darkest days are behind him, and that, for the first time in forever, his heart is true? So I gather the secrets that he'd rather keep hidden are not his feelings for his groom. Now that would be something in a Regency romance. But, the cover is in pink, she's in pink, the window's in pink, the wallpaper's in pink. The more I think about it, the more I think maybe the Dowager Duchess is better off in the country. Oh my. All right, very good. Well, that's just wonderful. So that comes out in April. Oh, I Dared the Duke. So I guess just simply firing her for disobeying orders, that would put the kibosh on everything, wouldn't it? Then we move on to here. What is this? What is this thing? This is by Charles Withers. It's called 0 Degrees, Geographies of the Prime Meridian. Okay, not a Dowager Duchess in the bunch. Okay, this comes out in March. Space and time on Earth are regulated by the prime meridian, 0 degrees, which is, by convention, based at the Royal Observatory in Greenwich. But the meridian's location in southeast London is not a simple legacy of Britain's imperial past. Before the 19th century, more than 25 different prime meridians were in use around the world, including Paris, Beijing, Washington, and the location traditional in Europe since Ptolemy, the Canary Islands. Charles Withers explains how the choice of Greenwich to mark 0 longitude solved the complex problems of global measurement that had engaged geographers, astronomers, and mariners since ancient times. Okay. Well, anything would have been a letdown after a Regency romp all in pink. Who's to know this won't be good? It could easily be good. This comes out in March. and it's popular science history. That I shouldn't slight it. Yes, it's not a bright pink Regency romance, but how many things are? And then we have the last thing here. This silver thing. Look at that. Huh? I am guessing that this is a YA novel. They're usually the ones that come all decked out like this. But it's awful heavy for a YA. Maybe it's more than one YA novel. Let's find out together. Oh my God, it's one book and it's enormous. No YA book could be this big. It's not a... Oh my God. It's from DC Comics. Oh my God. It's the Silver Age omnibus of the Teen Titans with a Darwin Cook cover. I don't know how many comic fans are watching. Oh my God. Look at that beautiful Nick Cardy artwork. This is the whole original Silver Age run of the Teen Titans in color. Oh, wow. I am Nick Cardy's biggest fan. His artwork is not known anymore, but this is all the best stuff that he did outside of Batman. Wow. Oh, it's everything all the way. Well, by 1964, there were enough of these young heroes in training, sidekicks, to form their own team. So this collects The Brave and the Bold, Showcase, Teen Titans, The Hawk and the Dove. Incredible. This is a $100 book. Incredible. Oh, it doesn't have a pub sheet, so I don't know when it comes out. But this is amazing. I will write about this. I will sing it from the rooftops. These adventures were so good. They were so good. Some of us, at the time they came out. It's for those of you who aren't familiar and might be in the least bit interested, this is a group made up of teen heroes, the teen sidekicks of the major DC heroes, or the teen junior members, even if they weren't officially sidekicks. So Aquaman's teen sidekick Aqualad, Green Arrow's teen sidekick Speedy, Wonder Woman's young protege Wonder Girl, Robin, of course, and who did I leave out? Kid Flash, of course. Wally West, the teen protege of the Flash, and they band together. DC just was going after the kid market, and they were already succeeding with that with the Legion of Superheroes, which is a gigantic future team and entirely composed of teenagers. And this is their marquee teenage characters. These characters have been around by the time this was out. They'd been around for 25 years, and it's amazing. The run is amazing. The Teen Titans, they face largely small threats, largely small villains, and a lot of the issues revolve around imparting self-esteem to doubting teenagers. There's a large element of I don't know how you want to call it, social outreach in these issues. And another thing that's very, very nice about them is you think about that team. I mean, those you of course don't know these characters. There's Aqualad, the classic iteration of Aqualad. He can breathe underwater. He can swim really fast underwater. He can't command sea life like Aquaman can, and he's just a teenager, and that's it. In the original conception, that was it for the character. Then there's Speedy, who is just a junior bowman. He's like Green Arrow. He's really good with a bow and arrow, and has a bunch of trick arrows. Then there's Robin, who's really good at detection and has a utility belt and some acrobatic skills. And then there's Kid Flash, who can run really fast, just like the Flash. And then there's Wonder Girl, who can run really fast, fly, and is super strong. And as that description will tell you, for years, for probably 5 or 6 years, every month, you would get a superhero comic book in which by far the most powerful character on the team was a woman, was a girl, a teenage girl. By far the most powerful. 3 of the members don't have superpowers at all, unless you count breathing underwater. Only 2, Kid Flash and Wonder Girl, had superpowers, and Wonder Girl had his power plus her own. I can't believe DC would send me this. This is just amazing. And this cover with them jitterbugging, to a jukebox is by the late Darwin Cook, who DC's made the very wise decision to put his artwork on the cover of all of these omnibuses, because his retro stuff is so good. He's just amazing. What a loss to comics. Well, okay. All right, well, so this is Silver Age Omnibus Teen Titans. I don't know how many comics fans are watching. This is an over the moon type thing, if you are. And then number 11 by Jonathan Coe, Mr. Rochester, Truffle Boy, 0 Degrees, Unreliable, Jane Austen's Secret Radical, a book on drive-in theater schlock, and I Dared the Duke in bright pink. That is our mail haul for today. Now, God, this video is ungodly long. Anyway, I'm pretty sure that my mail truck driver will be around today. He seemed to say yesterday that he had plenty coming all week long. So if that's true, there might be a second mail haul today. And if he comes really, really late, sometimes he comes at 8 at night because he's one guy on a gigantic route and he's totally overworked. If he comes really, really late, I will sit on the packages until tomorrow. I won't open them without you. So there you go, BookTube. I'll see you soon. Thank you.